All right, so uh, let's first look at the different technologies used. As an architect, that is important for you. You need to understand what is the technologies used and how they benefit you, and how to speak the lingo, right? How to speak the technology language. And if you know how to do that, what will happen is the AI prompt will make more sense to the AI agent. So there's three pillars when you create a website. But just before we do that, there's something I want to explain. How does it work in real life when a new project is handed over to a team of programmers that also do have a architect as the head? So you have a coding architect. Sometimes you have two different departments of coders or groups of coders below the architect. The one group will be the user interface group, and the user interface is very much what we're busy with here, the graphical user interface. How should it look like? Is it on brand? So you basically create the whole website first. The second team, which is your implementation team, your functionality team, will then take that website and build functionality behind the scenes. So when you click on join a newsletter, the graphical user guys will create a good looking form. Even as you saw in the previous lesson, if you try to click on the form and the name is, for instance, not filled in, or the email don't have an @ sign in, and so forth, there will be error messages popping up. We call them toasts, and we will look at toasts soon. That's one of the lingo, one of the words that you will use. It's just a little pop-up that comes up and say, hey, please add your name, and then the pop-up will normally just disappear, or as soon as you start typing, it will disappear. So all those things. So the form validation, which is then adding the name, see if the guy's name is in the graphics, the images, the different pages, links from one page to another, all that will be done by the graphical user interface team. Now it might seem simple, but there's much more to it. For instance, it should be on brand. It should showcase the brand voice of the company. It should be easy to use, for instance. So your user experience, so you have a UI for user, for how things look like, and then you have the experience. So a guy wants to get to a specific product. Does he have to click 4 or 5 times on that website to get to that one product? So that's not a very good user experience. People want to click through, be immediately on the right pages. So the whole experience is important. Think about some of the icons, and icons is a big topic, and it is extremely big topic actually in graphical user interfaces. If you see a little gear, you immediately think, oh, this is the settings. All right, so icons has become a way for people to quickly find things by searching for different icons. So let's continue then. All right then, so in other words, this is how it works. You as an architect will first create the user interface. You're going to create the front end. You're going to create basically the website. It's also then a good idea at that point to hand it over to your customer, or if you finished and you work for a company, it would have gone to the main architect that will go through it and then hand it over to the implementation team. So that is how it really works behind the scenes. So tier 1 is what it's about. Let's create the front end, because also think of it this way: if the front end is not signed off and all the functionality has been done, and now pages needs to be changed, or add another page, or take this page away, and things like that, that would mean that the coding team will again have to go and recode things, so it's double work. So the better way: complete it, hand it over to the customer. The customer will already be wowed by this graphical user interface if you follow all the steps in this tier program, because we're going to look at branding, definitely. We're going to look at the graphic development, design, and so forth. And once it's signed off, the customer is already happy because he received something already. And if he don't like what he sees, it's so easy to fix it up. All right, it's much more difficult to fix it up once the functionality, it's still easy, but it's double work, right? Once functionality has been added, like databases and so forth. So there's 3 pillars when you develop a front end, and these 3 pillars are very much, the first one you can think of as the skeleton, or the structure. All right, and this is where HTML comes to play. The next thing is making it look beautiful. That is where the styling comes in. And the third thing is behavioral, in other words, motion. If you move your mouse over the send button, the send button can change color or pop up a little bit. This is also in behavior, where if someone needed to put his name in a field and he didn't, where a little box will come up and say, please, add your name. This is a typical website then. You can see these cards here, we call it cards. In the middle you can see there's like a euro section. All this terminology we're going to handle very soon. So when you talk the talk, you talk the right talk. So we talk about here's cards, here's a euro section, all right, here's a menu bar. So all these menu bars and so forth, even these cards are all HTML. It's structured. To the left hand side, place a card. Inside the card, put an image, a heading, and then text. You can have the euro area, make it bold, make it a H1 font, or even bigger. Put a button just inside the same area. Then have 2 small cards here to the right. Then below it have 3 more cards. This is HTML. Now, if it was just HTML, it will look very, very sad and bad. It won't have rounded corners. It won't have this great looks to it. It's just really text. So the text will be to the left-hand side, and below it will be more text, and there'll be a graphic, but it will not look good, all right? And I think I'll create a HTML only page next, so you can see what I'm talking about. So we then basically make up this, put makeup on this HTML, and that is what we call cascading style sheets, CSS for short. Then after that, what we then do is then add the behaviors, the motions. For instance, if I will go over the this is of course a slide, not a real page. If I go over name here, it will maybe change color slightly, so you can see it is clickable. If you probably have if you move over this card, it might have a nice little neon glow to it and it stands out slightly, things like that. So that is how, in a very basic way, what a web page consists of. So I'm not going to continue with this lesson now. Or with this slideshow. We will handle it in the next lesson. But in this lesson, what I want you to understand really is that graphical user interface you create first, and then afterwards, once it is done and you like it, then you start adding the code, the back-end code, the databases, the tier 2 stuff. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.